Have you ever wondered if she's actually interested in you, even when she seems distant? In today's dating world, women often mask their true feelings, making it incredibly challenging to know where you stand. But here's the thing, there are subtle signals that can reveal her genuine interest, even when she appears completely indifferent. Today we're diving deep into 7 scientifically backed indicators that she might be secretly attracted to you. Let's address the elephant in the room. Why do these signals have to be so complicated in the first place? In our hyper-connected world, showing direct interest has become riskier than ever. Between social media, mutual friends, and overlapping social circles, women often feel the need to protect themselves from potential embarrassment or rejection. Research in social psychology shows that attraction often operates on a subconscious level. Someone might not even be aware of their own interest, yet their body language and behavior tell a different story. Social media has completely transformed how we express interest. The old rules of dating don't apply anymore, creating a complex dance of subtle hints and mixed signals that can drive anyone crazy. Before we dive into the signals, let's understand why a woman might intentionally mask her attraction. Despite what many guys think, women fear rejection just as much as men do. Sometimes even more, because rejection can feel more personal and spread through social circles faster. Society still places weird expectations on women when it comes to dating. Show too much interest? You might be labeled as desperate. Show too little? You're playing hard to get. This creates a delicate balancing act. There's also the psychological principle of scarcity. We value what's harder to obtain. Some women have learned that maintaining an air of mystery keeps potential partners more engaged and interested. And yes, sometimes it's a test. By holding back obvious signs of interest, she can see if you're confident enough to take initiative despite uncertainty, a trait many women find attractive. The first and most reliable signal is all about eye contact, but not just any eye contact. We're talking about specific patterns that psychology research has identified as indicators of attraction. Research shows that a normal glance lasts about 1.3 seconds. But when someone's attracted to you, they'll hold that gaze for roughly 2.3 seconds or longer. It might not sound like much, but you'll feel the difference. Try counting it next time. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Watch what happens after she breaks eye contact. If she looks away but then looks back at you within 45 seconds, especially if this happens multiple times, that's a strong indicator of interest. Think of it like a boomerang effect. Pay attention to the pattern of her gaze. If it moves from your eyes to your mouth and back up, forming a triangle, that's a subconscious behavior linked to romantic attraction. Just don't confuse this with someone who's just trying to read your lips in a noisy environment. Here's the golden tell. When she breaks eye contact, notice which direction she looks. Looking down shows submission and attraction, while looking to the side often indicates disinterest. Looking up usually means she's just thinking. This is why body language experts call the downward glance the shy but interested signal. The second signal is fascinating because it happens completely unconsciously. It's called mirroring, and it's one of the most reliable indicators of attraction that psychology has identified. When we're attracted to someone, our brain automatically tries to create rapport by copying their movements. Watch for things like her taking a sip of her drink right after you do, or adjusting her posture to match yours. It's like an unconscious dance that says we're in sync. Here's the key difference between natural mirroring and conscious copying. There's usually a delay of about 2 to 4 seconds. If she's consciously imitating you, it happens too quickly. The delay is what makes it genuine. It's like your movements are setting up a rhythm that she naturally falls into. Pay attention to the tiny, almost invisible movements. Maybe you touch your face and seconds later she touches hers. Or you cross your legs and shortly after she does the same. These micro-movements are especially telling because they're harder to fake or control consciously. Want to test if she's really mirroring you? Make a unique but natural movement, like stretching your arms or adjusting your shirt. Then wait. If she mirrors this new movement within a few seconds, you've just caught her brain showing interest in real time. Just don't make it obvious you're testing. The third signal is all about personal space, or what anthropologists call proxemics, and it's like a sophisticated dance that most people don't even realize they're performing. Humans naturally maintain about 18 inches of personal space with strangers. But when someone's attracted to you, they'll find ways to break this invisible barrier. Maybe by leaning in to hear you better, even in a quiet room, or accidentally getting closer while reaching for something. Watch what she does with objects between you. Is she moving that coffee cup aside? Pushing her phone further away? When we're attracted to someone, we subconsciously remove barriers between us and them. It's like our brain is saying, I want nothing between us. Here's a secret most people don't know. Our feet point where we want to go. If her feet are pointed directly at you, even when her body is turned elsewhere, that's her subconscious showing interest. Think of it as your body's built-in compass of attraction. The lean is subtle but powerful. When truly engaged and attracted, people tend to lean forward about 15 degrees. But here's the real tell. If you lean back slightly and she maintains her forward position, or even compensates by leaning more, that's a clear sign of interest. Your ears might be your best tool for detecting attraction, because voice changes are nearly impossible to control consciously. Research shows women's voices naturally become higher pitched when talking to someone they're attracted to. It's an evolutionary response we can't fake. Studies have found that women's voices increase by about 40 Hz when speaking to someone they're attracted to. That's roughly the difference between regular speaking and using a customer service voice, a decode. Listen for more ups and downs in her tone. Attraction makes us more expressive and animated in our speech patterns. The overall volume tends to get softer, creating a more intimate conversation space, even in loud environments. The way we structure our speech changes dramatically when we're attracted to someone. Notice if she starts speaking about 10 to 15% faster than usual. It's a sign of excitement and engagement that's hard to fake. Genuine laughter becomes more frequent, especially at things that aren't particularly funny. Listen for those small giggles and appreciation sounds. She might unconsciously start matching your speaking pace and tone. Remember that mirroring we talked about? It applies to voices too. The content of her speech will shift in subtle but noticeable ways. She'll ask more follow-up questions, showing genuine curiosity about your responses, rather than just waiting for her turn to speak. Watch for the introduction of personal details that aren't necessary for the conversation. It's her way of creating connections. Her responses become more detailed and elaborate, rather than just giving basic answers. Now, let's talk about one of the most classic signs of attraction that's been documented across cultures: fidgeting and self-grooming. When attracted, people become hyper-aware of their appearance. Watch for what behavioral scientists call preening, fixing hair, adjusting clothes, or smoothing wrinkles. But here's the key. These movements should be quick and almost unconscious, not deliberate like checking a mirror. Think of it as her body trying to present its best self, without her mind fully realizing it. Attraction creates nervous energy that needs an outlet. Look for repetitive movements like playing with jewelry, rotating a ring, or gently bouncing a foot. The key is that these movements often increase when you make eye contact or move closer. It's like her body is processing the excitement of attraction. Pay attention to how she interacts with objects around her. Psychologists call this displacement activity. When we're attracted but trying to stay cool, we often transfer our energy to nearby objects. Playing with a straw, reorganizing items on the table, or fidgeting with a phone can all be signs of hidden attraction. There's actually a common sequence. It usually starts with hair touching, moves to face or neck touching, then progresses to clothing adjustment. If you notice this touch-chang happening repeatedly, especially combined with any of our previous signals, that's a strong indicator of interest. In our digital age, attraction leaves electronic fingerprints that are actually easier to spot than physical ones, if you know what to look for. Watch for the pattern, not just the action. A woman who's interested doesn't just view your Instagram story. She's usually among the first viewers, consistently. She might not like every post, but notice if she's viewing everything. It's like digital window shopping. She's keeping tabs on you without making it obvious. The famous wait time rule has evolved. Instead of playing hard to get, women who are interested often respond quickly but strategically. Look for quick views of messages within minutes, but responses that come after a short, natural delay, usually 5 to 20 minutes. This shows she's eager to read what you say, but doesn't want to appear too eager. Pay attention to the type of engagement. Surface-level likes are common, but meaningful comments, responding to your stories with specific references, or sending you content that relates to conversations you've had. These are modern-day equivalents of writing you a note in class. Here's something most guys miss. If she screenshots your social media content or saves your posts, that's huge. Some apps notify you of screenshots, but even when they don't, you might hear about it through mutual friends or see it referenced later. It's like the digital version of keeping a photo in your wallet. The final and perhaps most telling signal comes not from her, but from her friend group, because friends often know about her attraction before she admits it herself. Let's break down how her friends' behavior changes when she's interested, and what each change really means. Her friends suddenly become more interested in talking to you or knowing about you, even in casual settings. This is the friend group's vetting process. They're essentially conducting a casual background check because she's expressed interest. You start hearing references to conversations you weren't part of, or jokes that seem to make her friends smile knowingly. This is a clear sign she's been talking about you when you're not around. Friends don't develop inside jokes about people who haven't been discussed. You begin receiving invitations to group events or casual gatherings where she'll be present. Her friends are actively creating accidental opportunities for you two to interact in comfortable, low-pressure situations. Notice how her friends sometimes make excuses to leave you two alone or create natural opportunities for private conversation. Friends don't create these moments randomly. It's usually coordinated with her, even if she pretends not to notice. Now that you understand these 7 signals, you might be tempted to jump to conclusions or make bold moves. But here's what's really important to remember. These signals are clues that invite you to take the next step, not guarantees that require grand gestures. Let's talk about what this really means in practice. When you spot 3 or more of these signals consistently, it's time for subtle escalation. Maybe suggest a casual coffee, create natural opportunities for one-on-one conversation, or simply maintain warm, confident eye contact while gradually increasing your own signals of interest. The key is to match her level of subtlety while moving things forward. This way, you're building authentic connection without putting either person in an uncomfortable position. And remember, if you've read the signals wrong, subtle escalation means you can both save face and maintain your existing relationship. Before we wrap up, take a second to like this video if you found it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights into modern dating dynamics. Drop a comment below sharing which of these signals surprised you the most. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences.